Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's still already afternoon, so we're the Gen Z. So let me give my group mates, Angie and Janet, their time to transform to become Gen Zs and travel back to time. So yeah, we're gonna put up our video background, and as they are all doing it, let me just share that as as we were preparing this topic, it I was reminded that the Great Commission should not only be fulfilled geographically, but also generationally. So that's one thing that I was also able to learn in this course. So now to you, Janet, as we start introducing ourselves as Gen Zs.
What's up, guys? Janet here. I couldn't believe this morning when I opened my eyes. I didn't expect to get 1 million followers. Oh my God. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. As you know, I love to sing worship songs. So there's one of my favorite songs coming out, and I cover the worship song. So I hope that you can, go and check out. And when you check my page, make sure you check out my testimony on why I follow Jesus and how he is a superstar in my life. And last, make sure to give your thumbs up.
Yeah, so thank you, Janet. So hi, guys, it's me again, Steven. First of all, I hope you all love the Lakers because, they just became champions this year. And shout out still to the Miami Heat, to Coach Eric Spoelstra. Yeah, the best coach now in NBA. But for me, nobody beats Jesus. So I hope I can play ball with you all soon. So see you around.
Hey y'all, I'm Angie. I'm 18. I'm finishing school and then I'm going to take a gap year. I want to make my life count. Preach Jesus, my bae. My life is all online. 8 hours on my phone a day is nothing. Check out my Insta and my YouTube and follow me. Signing off now. See ya later.
Yeah, so welcome all to Blink. So short for Be Linked to God and Our Family in Christ, or Our Fam in Christ. So as youth leaders, the three of us attended a seminar and the speaker was Pastor Sam. And, he reminded us about, he was able to talk about, was it anthropology, Angie? Yeah, it's a big word. So yeah, he encouraged us to know our youth better. So this is what we did.
So we did a survey to plan a new youth service. We promise it's totally linked. The leaders trust us to plan since we know our generation the best.
Yeah, the survey results were so cool, man. We saw how to make God relevant to our youth and also connect with our friends outside. So here's a summary of the results. These are the countries represented and the age range. It is really interesting that the results are the same across different countries and age groups within Gen Z. Hey, Janet and Steven, we're the same, man.
Yeah.
Woo! And look, our phones are where we live most of our life. We must always stay connected with our friends all the time. We like meeting physically and also connecting online. So we like both the physical church and also online content. And relationships with our leaders and our friends are very important to us. Most of us have had quite good experiences in church.
Yeah, and these are the things the issues that came out of the survey. So most of us still need to grow deeper in our faith and be convicted by it more so we can apply it day to day. And sometimes there are just moments that we couldn't relate to church. And at the same time, we find it hard to connect with our non-church friends as they seem to always have excuses or always busy with other things when we invite them.
Surprisingly, most of us think that parents are very important to us. Although we don't express it, we really do care about our parents. And many of us concerned about our future career. We are interested to change the world beyond where we live.
Yeah, so nice idea. So now, here's our new youth service that we plan to have. So first of all, I would like to say that Blink is GOAT, so the greatest of all time. Because Jesus is. Just like basketball, we all need guidance from our coach to become better players. So we train by learning from his word and know what he wants us to do. Also, since we can't win alone, we need a team. In Blink, we we will place you in a team or small groups to help you, encourage you, and love you in your journey. So Jesus indeed is the greatest of all time, as he loves us the greatest, and he gave the greatest gift by making the highest sacrifice of all. And yes, not only that, we also have fun games together. So this is a photo of what we did last year. So we did a rewind of the event last Saturday because of the restrictions. So we did it online instead of, playing physically, we played virtually. So it was really fun, and I hope one day you can join us too, one of these days.
Yeah, besides church service, we promise all the activities are totes worth it, worth your time, effort, and energy. We have Bible study and discussions to discover that God's word is true, it's good, and it's relevant in all parts of our life. We share stories with one another of how we see God is real in our lives so that we can encourage one another. We hang out over activities like sports, games, art, and food is always good. Even outside Sundays, we stay connected over social media and online.
As you know, we've done all of this. This is what we do. But we don't just focus on our small group. We also did amazing job for the community. So since many of us are worried about our career, education is a stepping stone. So we provide free tuitions. And with COVID and all, we also have online learning in Zoom platform. This is open not only for our church members, but everyone. So you can bring your non-believer friends and sign up before everyone take the space. And we can meet up in a big group. So once every 6 months, we also did some community, care. That is, we pick up trash and we plant trees. Once a year, we also have mission trip with our youth team where we explore different cultures and learn how to minister.
Yeah, and let me promote our most awaited event this year. To have our annual youth camp this December.
All right.
So, if there are restrictions, we're still going to do it hybrid. So we're thinking of grouping you per small group and placing you per small group in hotel rooms, so we can interact together as a big group online. So yeah, we look forward to meet you there. There's gonna be new friends, talent shows, testimonies, God's word coming alive and becoming relevant. Also, we're gonna do sports together and worship as well. So we look forward to meet you there, and stay tuned for further announcements.
Just to get everyone excited, these are some of the feedback from last year's camps. One of them said, like how David slayed Goliath, Christ will empower us to slay our problems.
Yeah, someone else said, with Christ, I am secure. I'm no longer thirsty for people's approval or to increase my YouTube likes.
And someone else said, after camp, I know God is real in my daily life and not just church. I'm totally stand for him.
And the last one, someone said, I made a lot of friends who actually care for me. I'm so looking forward to camp this year. Oh no, Janet, we're running late. We got to get to our leaders meeting in 5.
Oops, let's go.
All right. So welcome guys to our So Hype leaders meeting. So this afternoon, we're going to discuss some challenges that we are about or we need to overcome based on our findings in the survey. So thank you for making time. So here are the list of challenges that we were able to compile. First is that we need to adjust our youth service to make it more relevant to the Gen Zs. So we need to find common ground with them and make our sermons or the word relevant to where they are right now. And they also need physical fellowship, so we might be able to think of ways on how we can meet more physically. Also, we need the youths to grow deeper in their faith. So we need to help them have deeper conviction of what they know about and discover more of the beauty and why Christianity is true. At the same time, how truth is not relative but absolute in Christ and in Christianity. Also, we need to find ways to connect with our non-church friends. We need to go where they are. So we need to be more centrifugal as well, not only centripetal. So moving further, this is what usually triggers them So they're totally triggered with when it comes to family and parents. So they get to become very affected when things like this is involved. Also, they're triggered with, thinking about their future and who their, you know, loved ones is in the future. And as well as making the world or making an impact around the world. So this can be exemplified with what's going on right now in Thailand. And I too could identify with them and what they're fighting for. So in the same way, we're also very concerned with the youth there. So yeah, that these are our challenges. And also here are some things that we wish our parents know. I believe both of you as well, Angie and Janet, can also identify with this, and I really find this to be true. So you know what I wish my parents know about the stress I have in school. Sometimes when I don't know, I just zone out and be so stressed. Sometimes I don't eat anymore. So what I want them is to be more expressive, their love as well, and to communicate with us better, even disciple us and talk about the Bible with us. So I really find it so meaningful. I also want to know about how they came to be in love with each other and how they got married. So I suggest that one of my suggestions for this is to involve our parents more in Blink. So yeah, how about you guys? What do you think about how we can overcome these challenges?
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Those are really, really good challenges. I identify with many of them. I think for a start, we must tell the gospel in our lingo. These boomers, sometimes they always say something like, Jesus paid the penalty for your sins so you can go to heaven. Follow ABC, like the 4 spiritual laws, and you are saved. And we are thinking, why should I care about heaven? It's so far away. I don't feel guilty about anything. Our real questions are questions like, who am I? How can I thrive as a human? Where do I really belong? Is God for real? We want to know how God is real in every part of our lives, from A to Z, not just follow ABC. So tell us something like, Jesus Christ is your bae, your best friend. Your true identity can be found only in Him. Let Him be in every part of your life. For example, even in the area of science, your social media, your relationships, and you will flourish.
I totally agree with Angie. We don't want to just follow ABC. We want, Bible study to be interactive, creative ways. And we want this to be youth-friendly Bible study. Don't just teach us. Don't just preach it to us. Tell us how to study the Bible and tell us how can we discover God's truths in the Bible. And give us space to ask questions. And when we ask questions and when we give you stupid answers, please don't just condemn us. Be patient because we're learning. And leaders, we must, be our role models. And these are some ideas, thoughts, ideas that I want to suggest, like catchy names. Now we're having catchy names for our youth service. Blink, the link in Christ. And I think that we should have more of welcoming newcomers and non-believers. And sermons, we hope that it's more related to current situations and practical examples that the youth can live out to. And the activities, it will be great if it's focused on bonding and building relationship through sports and food, hiking outdoors. Those are the things that we like. And meeting outside is also important. It's not just church. Church setting sometimes makes us nervous. But if you meet us outside, I think that, we can talk heart to heart and you can make disciples through us. And we can have open discussions.
Yeah.
And since, we like to use online and we spend most of our time, like 8 hours in online, these are the things that we like. And I think that we can use it for our Gen Z service. So we like to do worship song, meeting new friends, or camping. I'm suggesting we can do open mixed mic sessions. So it's like showcasing musical talents, sings, dance, and rap. And maybe they can post it on YouTube or TikTok and get many likes. And then this is a way to share the gospel. We can even learn sign language worship So when we meet in a small group physically, we can use this and that we do not spread virus. And then like for meeting and interacting, I think small group discussion really helps. And being prayed personally, we really like when you pray for us. So the group camping also, it's great that it will be great if we have like quizzes, that you give us assignment, give us Bible chapters to read, and in a group we will work and take the quiz.
Yeah.
It
So
will be
awesome.
better if it will be better if there's some prizes included. So we'll be very excited.
Yeah, awesome
Prizes are
suggestions,
always
guys.
good.
Yeah. Thank you for giving suggestions. So we should try to implement some starting next week. As you were sharing, Clevy, the guy leading the young adults, he texted me and he said they want to have a combined fellowship with us. So what do you think, guys?
What? I'm not interested. What do these millennials know about us? It's probably the same boring old teach us the Bible, tell us to follow Jesus, not the world. No.
But he seems quite cool and chill. Come on, guys, let's give them a chance. Let's hear what they want to do and how they want to help us.
Okay. But it's nice of them to reach out to us. I remember Pastor Sam preaching that in Jesus, we are all one united family. And even the Bible says something like, there's no boomer nor millennial, neither Gen, X, Y, or Z, for we are all one in Christ.
Okay, I guess we can give it a try. Just listen to them. Yeah, talking about one fam in Christ. Stephen, I heard you guys played basketball with Pastor Sam, Uncle Peter, and Winston last week. They're still pretty good, eh? Fun and chill activities are a great way to bond. Aruni and Pat brought us to do pottery. It was the first time in my life and we had so much fun.
Yeah, and we had such a lit time when Auntie Chelsea invited our cell group to her house and cooked a great dinner for us with Esther. She shared good advice to connect with our parents, and family means a lot, but very challenging with many conflicts too.
Yeah, I really agree with you guys. Many of us Gen Zs has been blessed with these mentors, boomers, and millennials. Especially when they guide us and show us the Word of God and how it links to the rest of the life and make sense of the Word of God. And most of the time they really treat us. Like my mentor Winston. I really look forward to our meetings when he gives us food and treat us.
Yes, we really love having a safe space to talk about difficult topics like evolution, LGBT, same-sex issues, abortion, or how do we know Jesus is the only way? And lastly, about family, like Janet said, we must help improve our relationships with our parents and our siblings. We can have events to bring families together on special days. For example, a day with dad, meals with mom, or fun with family to help our Gen Zs bond with their families.
Yeah, so thank you guys for sharing suggestions, and I think that wraps up our meeting. And now we would like to express this to our pastors, leaders, parents. So let's do a heart-to-heart talk with them and share this to them. So now I invited them to join us. So you may sit down. Welcome, Pastor Sam, Clevy, Esther, Chelsea, Winston. You can join us as we share and express our hearts to you to wrap things up and to really express what's in our heart.
We actually have many insecurities and fears. Although we have many social media followers, as you know, I have 1 million followers, but I feel very lonely inside. We look confident, but inside we're worried whether people truly like us. And we're looking forward for a place where we belong.
We want to prove that our lives can make a difference in the world. There's often great pressure to show off our lives, and sometimes we push boundaries to show our influence, but sometimes we do it too much.
Yeah, and also we struggle as we still have many questions about our faith, and we're still figuring things out.
So please take time to learn about us. Meet us where we are. not as superior, or don't boss around us. Learn about us instead.
Remember that we're different from you and from one another. See each one of us as individuals. We all have our own dreams and desires. Don't stereotype us, and allow us to challenge you with questions to what you say.
Yeah, and really find it meaningful when you show us that we are valuable to God and to you, like you guys making time for us and loving us no matter what.
And these are the way to reach us. Food is always a good choice. We love food. And in this way, you can build relationship with us. Even we don't respond you, keep sowing seeds of the gospel in us, God's truth in us. Don't give up on us.
Yes, show us how God is relevant and real in all parts of our lives. Dare to discuss difficult topics with us and guide us to see how the gospel can help us to thrive.
Yeah, and we really look up to you guys. We're so inspired by how much you've achieved already with your lives. So thank you so much. And we want you to talk sense to us about the Bible, how it relates to real life, and we really, enjoy it. And yeah, we're very thankful for it. We need you. So, all right, guys. So, Janet, why don't you say this?
Most of all, leave the outcome to God. As much as we water the plant, it's God who make it grow.
Yeah. So enough of these moshi moshi, and I know it's quite a lot for our visitors, parents, and mentors. So let's do a vibe check. How do you feel about our plans? What do you think? You learned something, and why don't you share your thoughts with us? So now would be a time for discussion and question. So you can take the roles of parents or church leaders and share to us your suggestions, or even if you're willing to partner with us or give us food or budget for our plans. So we'd like to open this time now for a short discussion, and then Angie will wrap up with a quote after after the discussion.
Good. Anyone want to share or comment?
I would say the coverage is pretty comprehensive, and in terms of the different partners that are involved and also the engagement, I think it's very relevant for our Asian context, and also for even non-Asian context. So I'm quite impressed, with the presentation. I think it's a good way, to engage the different generations.
Yeah, very thank, and is I approve that your presentation is I have three children. Is two boys. Is a G generation. That's proof that your presentation is I got a response from two boys like that did this presentation. Yeah, very thankful. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel so old. To tell you that, we in our PCG, I was just talking with the PCG group that my wife Esther and I we came across this term called cancel culture, and it took our daughter to explain it to us. And I have to admit that as I was going through, as you were doing your presentation, I had probably about maybe 12 words I didn't understand. So it lets us know, I think, that there really is a culture gap that I need to learn how to cross. So that was good. Good.
Thanks, guys. In your research, did you come across like how is Gen Z distinct from millennials? Yeah.
Yeah, so our sense is millennials, it's kind of the bridge. Millennials still can connect with the older generation, whereas Gen Zs, they are much more individual focused. They want to make their lives here on earth worth it, and they want to do everything to prove themselves. And Gen Zs are the ones who grew up with social media, whereas millennials, it only came in when we were a bit older, like in university. So we kind of understand the life without social media and the life with. So we're actually in a good place to build that bridge between the older and the younger.
Yeah, so they have like delayed adulthood, but for millennials, they desire more of authenticity. But for Gen Zs, they're more of just being open, and they want to defy categories. So these are the differences we saw. So they exude confidence and authority in their beliefs. So these are for the Gen Zs.
Thank
They're
you.
born. Oh, sorry. They're born with this LGBTQ community and all. So they want to accept every ideas. They don't really judge, but and their friends are also from this community. So for them, Gen Z, they want to be accepted by everyone. Yeah. So the church also needs to teach them and guide them on, how to respond to this kind of ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. I got that sense too. I think that millennials, they are bridge, but Gen Zs are much more, the breadth is substantially larger than those of millennials. Millennials will still, I think, choose certain positions, and they're not afraid to choose certain positions. So I have four children. Two of them are millennials, two of them are Gen Zs. And even though in the same family, you could tell that the older ones, and it could be age, but for them, they're willing to take position, right? So they desire authenticity, but they're willing to take position. Whereas the younger ones, the younger two, they desire authenticity, but they're not willing to take a position. They just prefer just everyone except everyone else in that. And I think there's more of a fear. That's what I think the cancel culture came in. There's a fear that they'll be canceled. And millennials, they're not necessarily that afraid. But this is just my observation, is that for Gen Zs, they tend to be more concerned about how other people see them. So I thought it was, yeah, I think what you presented was quite interesting. It added a different layer of things. So
yeah, let's just close with a quote by Angie, and then thank you so much.
Yeah, so we hope the presentation has really helped you all to understand the Gen Zs. Even for us doing the presentation, we had to learn the language and understand their culture and try to be in their shoes to understand what kind of struggles they go through. So hopefully this quote will encourage all of us as well. So it's a quote by Sean McDowell. He's from Biola University, and he has a strong passion for young people. He says, "How you view this generation will shape the way you minister to them, preach to them, mentor them, counsel them, and build relationships with them. It's human nature. The older we get, the more negative we describe the current generation. But you and I have far more common with Gen Z than we do differences. Our human nature, being made in God's image, gives us more in common, a desire to be loved, for purpose, for relationships, and knowing that truth matters. So even though we feel that gap, we remember that we have a lot more in common." Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you all.
Thank you, guys. I can now untie my hair.
Thank you.
thank you. Very well done. Good.